friends, welcome to another Poetry Deep Dive today. I love Denis Martindale. He has written over 3,700 poems for the Poem Hunter website. This time, Denis Martindale has written a brand new wildlife poem. Denis introduces us to the UK wildlife artist Stephen Leopard, who has painted over 700 wildlife paintings. Hundreds and thousands of the prints are still sold on eBay today. The new poem is about Stephen getting close-up photographs of a leopard. The title of the painting in the poem is Leopard. Here is what the brand new wildlife poem's message shares with us today.
Let's dive right into part 1, the midnight leopard encounter, a silent hunt under the moon.
Picture this. You're out there, literally miles from civilization, just completely shrouded in darkness. You're waiting for one of the most elusive predators on the planet to make an appearance. That's exactly the thrilling setting Denis paints for us. Let's trace the suspenseful timeline, shall we? We start in the dead of night, just hiding under the moonlight. Then, right around midnight, the crucial moment happens, snapping those dark snapshots and really capturing the raw essence of the wild. Later on, the leopard simply moves on. And finally, at dawn, our photographer retreats completely unharmed. It's this incredible, high-stakes, silent dance between man and beast, and it's captured so perfectly as the poem progresses. Denis really leans into the sensory details of this encounter. The poem reads, "Beneath the silvered moon's soft light, a precious sight so rare." It just evokes such a vivid image, doesn't it? The source material describes the stars offering their own natural light, illuminating this whole scene set upon what the poet calls God's tapestry. It reminds us, this isn't just about taking a photograph, it's about bearing witness to a wondrous background, a midnight story unfolding right there under heaven's throne. Now, the absolute craziest part here is the incredible tension of the moment. The leopard isn't just a static subject, it's actively scanning, staring left and right. The poem specifically points out its twinkling eyes so bright. But while this majestic creature is posing and maintaining its solitary nature, its loneliness, as the poem says, searching for prey, our observer has to be an absolute ghost. The photographer must stay utterly silent and motionless. One wrong breath, one snap of a twig, and the whole spell is broken. It's just a masterful depiction of pure discipline and awe.
Moving on to part 2, from snapshot to canvas, creating a treasure trove.
You've got to love the emotional payoff captured in this quote from the poem. "A treasure trove at last, a great reward because I cared and caught all that had passed." After all that intense stillness and, frankly, the potential danger of the wild, returning home with a camera full of pristine, hard-won snapshots is the ultimate reward. It literally is a treasure trove of memory and inspiration, safely secured just because the artist had the patience and the care to respect the moment.
And this perfectly sets up Stephen Leopard's actual creative pipeline. Step 1, photograph the wildlife, capturing that fleeting midnight magic. Step 2, take those dark snapshots and use them to paint stunning new portraits, really revealing the splendor of the animals he loves. And Step 3, sell those detailed paintings all across the world. It's such a remarkable journey from a solitary moment out in the wilderness straight into homes and galleries globally.
And speaking of that journey, 700! Seriously, just take a second to let that number sink in. Over 700 wildlife paintings created by Stephen Leopard. That is a staggering testament to his dedication, his passion, and his relentless pursuit of capturing nature's beauty. To travel the world, wait in the freezing dark, and translate those moments to canvas hundreds of times, that's extraordinary. That is a lot of patience, and for sure, a whole lot of paint.
Which brings us to part 3, a unique artistic collaboration. Painter meets poet.
Notice the beautiful contrast between our two incredibly prolific creators here. On the left, we have Stephen Leopard, the UK wildlife artist who communicates through color, shadow, and brushstrokes with over 700 paintings to his name. And on the right, we have Denis Martindale, the poem hunter poet, who communicates through rhythm, rhyme, and metaphor. Two totally different artistic mediums, right? Yet both are fueled by the exact same spark of inspiration found in the natural world.
And hey, if we marveled at Stephen's output, look at this. 3,700. That is the number of poems Denis Martindale has written and shared on the Poem Hunter website. 3,700. The sheer volume of his creative output shows this incredible devotion to sharing these stories. It proves that his well of inspiration runs just as deep as the wildlife artist he so beautifully writes about.
The way their work intertwines is honestly brilliant. The poem culminates with this wonderful meta-reference, each detailed painting fit for sale, then shared by Denis Martindale in Poems Prove Sublime. Denis actually writes himself right into the narrative, perfectly tying together the global reach of the physical paintings with the enduring, sublime nature of the written tributes. The painting inspires the poem, and the poem immortalizes the painting.
Let's look at Part 4, Inspiration in the Digital Age, Connecting Traditional Mediums.
So you might be wondering, how did these two creative giants actually come together? Well, several years ago, Denis actually reached out and emailed Stephen, and the artist told Denis something so cool. He would read Denis's poems as he painted his pictures. Think about that. You have a deeply traditional art form, oil on canvas, words on paper, being actively fostered by modern digital tools. They shared their hopes and dreams through emails, proving that profound artistic connection can happen from completely different locations.
So the crucial point we arrive at is this really beautiful truth. Inspiration is blessed by technology and internet resources. We often think of the internet as distracting us from nature or from traditional art. But in this explainer, we see the exact opposite. Technology was the very bridge that allowed a photograph of a midnight leopard become a painting, which then traveled across the web to inspire a poet, whose words then echoed right back to the painter's studio. It's a perfect circle of creativity blessed by connectivity.
Which leaves us with one final inspiring thought for you as we wrap up this explainer. How will you capture and share the beauty of nature today? Whether it's a quick photo on your phone, a little sketch, a few written words, or even just a shared email with a friend, your connection to the wilds absolutely matters. Inspiration is out there, waiting in the silvered moonlight. Go find it. Thank you so much for exploring this with me today, and I'll see you in the next explainer.